Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Gilbert Berns. Now, you probably were not really thinking of this fight. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. But most people, after UFC Fight Night Tsarukyan versus Gamrot, were looking at maybe a Shavkat versus Stipe Thompson, Shavkat versus Sean Brady, Vicente Luque, Bilal Muhammad, all of those guys, and maybe you were, maybe you weren't. But what I'm thinking is none of that. I'm thinking Gilbert freaking Berns, Shavkat Rakhmonov. How amazing of a fight would that be? We have two guys in the UFC welterweight division with very good jiu-jitsu, very good wrestling, sambo skills, and things like that might just as well cancel out. Gilbert Berns has such good jiu-jitsu. His takedown defense against Khamzat Chimaev was very, very good. Against Usman, the fight stayed on their feet. So it's not like Shavkat's going to go out there and do what he did with Neil Magny and like take down Gilbert Berns and dominate him. That's why it's a perfect fight. I don't want to see Shavkat go over and just absolutely clobber Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, absolutely dominate Masvidal, Vicente Luque, Bilal, because we know Shavkat would beat all of them. I'm going to say that right now. Shavkat Rakhmonov beats like every single fighter, except for maybe like a Gilbert Berns, Khamzat Chimaev, Colby, Leon, and Usman. So Gilbert, coming off a loss to Khamzat Chimaev, he's not going to go back up in the rankings. He's not going to fight Chimaev, Edwards, Covington, or Usman. Bilal Muhammad, I don't think Gilbert wants that fight. Vicente Luque, they're training partners. Vicente Luque already has a fight. Thompson's coming off a loss. Jorge's coming off a loss. Really, none of those really do too much for Gilbert. Sean Brady, I mean, a lot of people were talking about that. Sean Brady versus Gilbert Berns, I don't think so. Too big of a step up for Sean Brady. I think Sean Brady would get absolutely destroyed in that fight. I think a smarter move to build up Sean Brady in his career, put him against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and put this guy himself, freaking Shavkat Rakhmonov, against Gilbert Berns. That is the fight to make. Gilbert Berns, 20 wins, 5 losses, versus Shavkat with 16 wins and 0 losses. We have the spinning kicks, the power of Shavkat Rakhmonov with almost every single win by finish, and in my opinion, could very well beat Gilbert Berns on the feet. I would venture out to say Shavkat would have the advantage in the striking over Gilbert Berns. Not going to be huge. Gilbert's a veteran of the game. I mean, if this is going to happen like I think it will, it's going to be a 5-round main event. And it's going to be a close one. It's going to be like a 48-47. Gilbert's going to put this man into deep waters if they ever were to fight. Because those later rounds, 4th and 5th round, if it does get there, which I think it will, I think this fight would go to a decision. Gilbert has the experience advantage. He has the advantage later on in the fight to continue to pour on the pressure. We haven't got to see how good Shavkat Rakhmonov is in those later rounds. So that's why Shavkat Gilbert Berns 5-round main events of a fight night is the perfect move for the UFC. That is what I would like to see next. Shavkat Rakhmonov from Kazakhstan, however you say the name, I always get it wrong. And then Gilbert Berns from Brazil, 2 top-tier wrestlers and grapplers. These are some of the most well-rounded UFC welterweights in the world right now. And one of them's coming off a loss, so he doesn't really have too much wiggle room to go back up in the rankings. He's got to go down, and right down is either Sean Brady, Jorge Masvidal, or freaking Shavkat Rakhmonov. And if he's taking fights with Khamzat Chimaev when he doesn't really even have to, what's saying he's not going to take a fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov? Nothing. He would take the fight. He would take the fight. If anyone's saying this is too big of a step up for Shavkat, not to me, man. The dude destroyed every opponent he's faced inside of 2 rounds each in the UFC. It might be a huge step up, yes, but it's a perfect step up for Shavkat Rakhmonov. Because if Gilbert Berns wins this fight, boom, that puts him right back in title contention. If he can go out there and beat Shavkat Rakhmonov, after that, you give him, a Colby Covington type of thing. He wins that, he's got a title shot. If he wins this fight, he'd be 1 win away from a title shot, in my opinion. And what other fight's going to help him get back to a title shot? Not anyone else. A fight with, who? Vicente Luque, Bilal, Jorge. None of that's really going to get you too much closer to a title shot. Shavkat Rakhmonov will. So I think that's the fight to make next. Shavkat versus Gilbert Berns. We're going to make a prediction for this later on today as well. But I think that's the fight to make next. Put your thoughts down below. Put your predictions down below. Shavkat or Gilbert Berns in a 5 rounds UFC Fight Night main events. Put your thoughts down below. Dana White provides either or update on Jon Jones' UFC return. So, just as I predicted, he's not going to give a direct answer. He's not going to say Jones versus Stipe, Jones versus Ngannou, UFC 280. He's not going to give us anything concrete. He's not going to say, for sure, we're looking at Jones-Stipe, we're trying to get the fight signed for December, for November, for August, whatever. He's not giving us anything clear and concise and for sure that he's planning on doing. He's giving us yet another either or. Just, maybe we'll do Jones-Stipe, maybe we'll do Jones-Ngannou. That doesn't give us anything. We know that we've known this for how many months now? We've known Dana's wanting to do the Stipe-Jones fight for the interim belt. Jones as trying to become a double champion in the heavyweight division. We've known all this. But all he's saying is Jon Jones is ready to go. We're just waiting for an opponent, White said to Jones. It's either going to be Francis, depending on how long his knee is going to take to recover, or is Stipe Miesha. So he's literally giving us nothing at this point. Like, what did we learn from Dana White saying this that we have not learned beforehand? We know that either fight was going to happen. We know it's going to be Jones versus Stipe for the interim belt or Jones versus Ngannou, depending on how long it takes Ngannou to get back from the injury. What? Dana, shocking news. We all knew this was going to happen. Like, we all knew this was the fight. These are the two fights that were going to happen. Give us something concise, Dana. So I ask you again, stop putting out statements like this, like either or, Jon Jones versus Stipe or Francis Ngannou. Stop giving us those type of statements because it doesn't give us anything. Like that we've known that for so long, and you're putting it out like it's a breaking story, like this is crazy news. Oh my God, Dana has confirmed it's either Ngannou or Stipe. We know! We've known that for months now. Like, come on, Dana. Come on. Dana, come on. Jones versus Stipe, Jones versus Ngannou. Personally, I think it's going to be Jones versus Stipe, but again, Dana's just not giving us anything concise here. I don't know. I mean, the only thing we really got out of this is Jon Jones is going to be fighting the number 2 contender or the champion. We have news that at least Jon Jones will have a fight in the end of 2022, beginning of 2023. It's all we really learned, but we kind of already knew that. So, all right, that's all we got. What do you guys think? Jon Jones versus Stipe, Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou. Put your thoughts down below. Max Holloway believes Conor McGregor should retire from the sport of MMA. Conor McGregor has already beaten Max Holloway a very, very long time ago, but since then became a double champion, the biggest star in UFC history and in MMA combat sports history. And then, went on a little rough patch after that. Lost to Khabib, beat Donald Cerrone, and then he got knocked out pretty bad against Dustin Poirier, got knocked out again by Dustin Poirier. And right now, Max Holloway is saying, no Poirier trilogy, no Nate Diaz trilogy, no Floyd Mayweather. Just retire, man. Just retire. And that's what Holloway is saying right now. Now, the reason why he wants him to retire, I'm not sure. This is what he's got. With all the Conor talk, he's never committed to coming back. Rightfully so. So, he shouldn't. Conor is what everyone wants to be. Everyone wants to get in this fight game. Make the money and then save your chickens. I don't know. Holloway says he should retire. Personally, nah. He's still got some money to make. He's got a Nate Diaz trilogy they can easily do. He's got a Poirier trilogy he can easily do. He can move over to boxing after that, which he can easily do. Do I think he's going to become a champion at any point in his career at this point? Nah. I don't think so. But it would be a good idea maybe for McGregor to retire if he's already financially secure. If he's already like a multimillionaire, billionaire, and whatever the case may be, with proper number 12, if all of his businesses are thriving, I agree, Holloway, I agree. What is really the point of McGregor coming back? Because it's not like he's going to come back and knock out Kamaru Usman for the belt. It's not like he's going to come back and beat Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev. None of that's going to happen. He'd get destroyed by those guys. So the only reason he's coming back is money, which he already kind of has. What's the point, really? What is the point of McGregor coming back? He just wants to continue to stay famous, wants to continue to have his name in the news. That would be the only thing, I guess. But the real only motivation for coming back is fame and money, which McGregor already has. So looking at everything, I agree with Holloway here. I think Conor should retire from MMA at this point, to be honest. But yeah, what do you guys think? Should McGregor retire, or should he come back and make even more money, build his name even more than it already somehow is? Put your thoughts down below. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson rejects Sean Brady's call out. You already know Wonderboy don't want the smoke. He does not want the smoke. And it's obviously why. Like we all know why. There's easier fights out for Wonderboy than freaking an undefeated up-and-coming young prospect like Sean Brady, like Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's got way, way easier fights than that, like a, Michel Pereira, like a Jorge Masvidal, easier fights. So I don't blame Thompson, but we all kind of knew it was coming. Like, as soon as I saw this reject Sean Brady's call out, I'm like, yeah, he just got wrestle-humped by Bilal Muhammad for 3 rounds, got wrestle-humped from Gilbert Berns and ground and pounded a little bit. I understand why. I understand Thompson, but come on, you can't be rejecting all these guys. You're no position. You're on a 2-fight losing streak. You got to accept someone. Why not Sean? Well, because you're going to get freaking destroyed. That's why. Right here. I think there's a lot of guys that want to work their way up, Thompson said. It's just the fact that the UFC's got to find the right guy, the right opponent for this next one. I know Sean Brady has called me out, but Sean Brady, I know exactly what he's going to do. I don't think it's going to be a fun for the fans because he's just going to want to shoot, and shoot. It's understandable when you're in a situation like mine. There are other guys out there. We just got to make it happen. So yeah, he's literally saying he's scared of getting wrestle-humped for 3 straight rounds, and he'd rather fight a striker like Jorge, like Michel Pereira, Geoff Neal again, maybe, Neil Magny, one of those guys, which is smart. So I agree, Thompson, this is not a good fight for you. It's a smart rejection of Sean Brady, but then where does Sean Brady go at this point? Like, who are you going to give Sean Brady now? Like, geez. But, yeah, I understand I understand what Thompson is saying, but what do you guys think? Who should Stephen Thompson fight now that he's just rejected Sean Brady? And who should Sean Brady fight now? Maybe Shavkat, maybe Gilbert Berns. Put your thoughts down below in the comment section. Shavkat Rakhmonov adds 2 names to the call-out along with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. As always, I'm not going to rush it, Rakhmonov. I don't know how he talks. I am going to take my time, rest, and then assess everything with my team. But the names I want to face are Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who's not going to accept the fight, I guarantee you. Nick Diaz. Again, I don't know where in the world that call out came from, but he wants Nick Diaz and then Jorge Masvidal. Those are the 3 call outs from Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I'm going to say it right now. Those are not good call outs. Jorge, not going to take it. Wonderboy is not going to take it. And Nick Diaz is not going to take it. You're not going to get any of these fights. Shavkat Rakhmonov. None of these fights are going to happen, bud. The perfect fight for me, in my opinion, is going to be Gilbert Berns. Gilbert Berns is the perfect opponent for you. High enough in the rankings, coming off a loss, that would actually accept it. None of the 3 guys you just named will ever accept a fight with you. You would dust them in the first round. I would put my life savings on you against Wonderboy Thompson. Like, it's not even funny how much money I put on you. They're not going to accept the fight, Shavkat. So, Shavkat versus Gilbert Berns, but again, that's the fight I think should happen. It should not at all be a Jorge Masvidal, Nick Diaz, or Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, because none of them will ever, in their right state of mind, maybe on some enhanced substances, some cocaine, some, I don't know, they injected some, I don't know, maybe at that point, they'd be like, oh, I want Shavkat. But in a clear state of mind, no one of those 3 guys is ever going to take a Shavkat Rakhmonov fight. It's not happening. That's a stupid-ass move by any of them. So, Shavkat, your call-outs are kind of useless. Call out Gilbert Berns now, please. Thank you very much. But what do you guys think? Rakhmonov versus Berns? Or do you think one of these guys will be stupid enough to accept Shavkat Rakhmonov? Put your thoughts down below. Max Holloway is interested in a move to the UFC lightweight division, win or lose, after the Alexander Volkanovski trilogy, there is still interesting fights up there. UFC featherweight Max Holloway is looking to move to 155 after this fight, which is very, very interesting. Here's the quote. We're here for a reason. If it was so guaranteed already, we would have already been here. So I cannot wait. I can't wait to go show. A lot of history on the line. A lot of legacy on the line. 0-0 Max is going in there looking for a finish. So I can't wait. I'll fight this fight just like how I fought every single other fight. Like it is my first fight and like it might be my last fight. So I've been in there 10 rounds with this guy. I feel good. I feel confident. And I've been saying, we'll be lucky if we go past 3 rounds in this one. Max Holloway continue. We'll see what happens on the move to the UFC lightweight division. Never say never, right? There's an interesting fight up there. A Charles Oliveira fight. Leading the pack and stuff. So we'll see what happens. I can't wait. First things first is Alexander Volkanovski on July 2nd. Let's bring balance back up to the world. So what do you guys think? I personally, I don't think he even beats Alexander Volkanovski. And if he loses to Volkanovski, why would he move up to lightweight at that point? So the only way he's going to move up to the lightweight division is going to be in a while. Like, he would have to beat Volkanovski this time, beat Volkanovski another time. They're going to do a 5th fight, a pentagolilogy. I don't even know how you would say that. And if Holloway can go 3-0 against Volkanovski in the next 3 fights, then maybe he can go up to lightweight. But I can't see the UFC letting that happen, especially with all the other contenders in the lightweight division. The other Oliveira, Makhachev, Gaethje, Poirier. We got the up-and-comers, Gamrot, Arman Tsarukyan. All of those guys, I cannot see the UFC moving him to the lightweight division. He might want to. But if he becomes champion in the featherweight division, which, again, I don't really think he does. But if he does, he's still 2-1 on a win against Alexander Volkanovski. He's still not the winner of that trilogy. So they're still going to have to do another fight after that. And if Holloway wins that, what is everyone going to say? Oh, it was too close of a fight. We deserve a 5th fight with Holloway and Volkanovski. So I doubt it ever happens. The only way it does happen is if he's an actual champion in the featherweight division. And at that point, if he's champion, they're going to have to do the Volkanovski fight so many other freaking times. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen, in my opinion. But what do you guys think of the UFC lightweight division for Max Holloway? Put your thoughts down below. Miesha Tate, Lauren Murphy set for UFC Long Island on July 16. The fight originally got canceled because Lauren Murphy somehow got COVID in 2022. It's June 27th. And somehow she contracted it again. I don't know how. But that was the reason the fight got canceled. It's super unfortunate to get COVID right before International Fight Week. But I just couldn't, in good conscience, go forward with the fight this weekend and risk getting others sick. Oh. I'm recovering and I will be in fighting shape soon. That's what she posted, was it yesterday at 6:23 p.m. Since then, we have a new fight added to UFC ABC card, Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. They just added it to the card because why not? I'm not too sure if it'll be on the main card or if it'll be on the prelims. I'm assuming it'll probably be on the main card because, again, it was on the main card for UFC 276 for some reason. Again, I don't know why, but they'll probably put it on the main card. Let's see. It is, wow, it's on the prelims. Is it not this card? Ortega versus Yair? They haven't added it yet. Okay. So, yeah, we don't know if it's going to be on the main card or if it's going to be on the prelims just yet. But for right now, they already have 6 fights on the main card. So, yeah, I'm assuming they're probably not going to put the fight on the main card. But I don't know. Maybe they'll sub out like Matt Schnell, Sumadesh. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to put it on the main card or not. Doesn't matter. All we know is the fight is going to happen on July 16th. UFC Long Island with Ortega versus Rodriguez. Put your predictions down below. I got Miesha Tate by a unanimous decision. Gina Carano responds to Ronda Rousey comments about a potential fight. Now, I, like you, most likely, I assume, see this headline and I'm just like, why? Are you talking about WWE? Are you talking about a boxing match, MMA? What is it? Why? What is the point of this at this stage in the career, except for maybe, some little bit of money? And I was thinking about it. As soon as I saw the headline, I'm like, it would be a fun fight. I wouldn't pay for it. I'd probably just illegally stream it or watch it on Instagram. But, it could make some good money. We have the first ever champion. You got Gina Carano from The Mandalorian. It'd be a decent fight. But my question then again is it going to be boxing? Is it going to be MMA? Are they just going to full on just try to make a buttload of money and make it a WWE main event? I don't know. Again, what is the point of this fight other than money? So then you got to think, what's going to make the fight more money? And again, like we're seriously talking about a Gina Carano Ronda Rousey fight in 2022, June 27th right now. And we're talking about this. I swear you, MMA news is crazy right now. Like, what is this? But I'm assuming boxing. I don't think they'll do an MMA fight at this stage, because I'm assuming boxing is probably going to be the place where they're going to make the most amount of money. Co-main event of a Jake Paul card. I don't know. Co-main event of Mayweather McGregor. I don't know. But they're just going to do it to make some money. They're just going to try to do it and make some money. And we have a quote right here. We have a quote. You know what? Just never put it past me. It could happen, Carano said. It would be 6 months from now. So she's talking December or January, because I have a lot of stuff I need to do. I really want to create. I want to direct. I want to produce. I want to give Ronda Rousey a job in one of my movies. So maybe there is something we can do there. I don't know. Do y'all want to see the fight Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey? Boxing, MMA, WWE. It really just depends on what the fans want and what the fans are willing to pay for, and really what is going to make Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano's names get a little bit of buzz in the MMA news circuit, and just kind of be like, what? Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano are doing a wrestling match, and then they're going to be in a movie after that? Like, I don't know. We shall see. I think it's a weird thing to see in 2022 to have Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey, but that's in for today's MMA news. Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey. Who do you think wins in MMA and in boxing? Or maybe WWE? Put your thoughts down below.